Hi lovely people, you are welcome back to my channel. This is Dot Max Stitches. Today I'm going to show you how to cut off shoulder bustier with straight blouse. I want to cut the both front and back together, and this fabric I'm going to use my wadding, my lining, and the lace fabric and the satin. These are the material I'm going to use, and this is my pattern paper here. So I'm going to use this as front and this one as back. So for you to fold in your paper, you consider the largest part of your body. If it is the bust or hip measurement, you consider it. Let's say your largest part of your body is hip measurement and your hip measurement is 40. What you need to do is this: you divide your 40 into 4, that is 10. Then you now add 5 each to it. So for you to know how to fold your paper like this, so you fold your paper like that. Then the next thing I did here is that after folding it, I now shape it out. See, I shape it out, and for this side not to be sharp, I come in by 1 inch, then I now slant it. That's how I get this side, and I shape this side here. So this is the front now. Let me look at this. Is the front and this is the back side. Now what I'm going to do in this front side, I will mark out 2 inches, 2 inches here, 2 inches, 2 inches for the front side, the 2 inches. After marking it, I will now fold it. I fold it like this. Then I will now place it on my back. This is the back. So for this back, I will just leave 1.5 inch for the zipper side. This is correct already. So this is my zipper side for the back. Zipper side for the back. So I can even underline it for me to know. This method is going to be fast and it's very easy. So this is the zipper side. Now for me to know the shoulder, you know I'm working with off shoulder. Your normal shoulder divided by 2. Let's say your normal shoulder is 16. You divide it into 2. 16 divided by 2, that is 8. Then you now add ½ inch to it for the sewing allowance, that is 8.5. So because you are working with off shoulder now, from that 8.5, you just take away 2 inches from 8.5. You are going to get 6.5. But if it is normal shoulder, you know it's 8.5. But for the off shoulder, you minus 2 inches. It will give you 6.5. So this is my 6.5 here. So you get your 6.5 here. After you get your 6.5 here, you know it's off shoulder. You can drop 4.5 or 5 depending how you want it. Let me line this place for my starting point. So you drop it, okay. Then you now be taking your vertical measurement. For you to get your armhole, you know the armhole divided by your armhole divided by 6. Then you now add 1.5 to it. The one I'm working here now is 8.5. When I divide my armhole divided by 6 plus 1.5, so I have 8.5. So I now mark that 8.5 here. So that's how I get my armhole side in this side here. So now I'll be taking my vertical measurements now. The breast point, my breast point is 11. You mark it out 11. Then under bust is 16. You mark 16. The waist is 18. You mark it out 18. And the hip measurement where you want it to stop is 26. And mark it 26. Then you now leave 2 inches for your seam allowance. like 2 inches. So that is the vertical measurement. Now I'll be underlining it for my horizontal. So let me be labeling it so that for you to understand. So this will serve as my chest line now, chest line, and this will serve as my breast point. This is the under bust, and this is the waist, and this is my hip line. So after this, the next thing to do, I will now separate it, the front from the back being one side and this is the front, because I want to work with this one first before I will now move to the back. So I folded 2 inches. I will now open it back. I will open it back. So now I want to work with my breast pan. Now for me to know my breast pan, your nipple to nipple measurements. Let's say your bust pan is 8. Now you divide it into 2. You divide your bust pan into 2. It's going to give you 4 inches. So you now fold your fabric like this. So when you divide your bust pan into 2, that 4 inches you add half to it. It's going to give you 4.5. So this is the 4.5 for your breast pan, for the bust pan. So this is your 4.5. Now you come down to the under bust. That 4.5, you reduce 1 inch from it. You are going to get 3.5. So you have to mark it. This is a 3.5 here. You go to the waist. You do the same thing. Mark it 3.5 for the waist. Now you can mark it like this. From your bust pan, just come down by 1 inch like this. I will now come up by 1 inch also. Come up by 1 inch also. Then here you can use your curve ruler. Use a curve ruler. When you get to the next side here, that 1 inch that you remove here, you remove 1 inch here also. 1 inch here. So you now connect it like this. This is what you are going to do. Because I'm working with straight blouse, so for this here waistline, I will now take my ruler. I doesn't have that on my hip, so I will just underline it like this, straight like this. This is it. Now here I will now cut it out. This is it. Now for me to get my neckline, now I want to work with my neckline now. This one will be the side. Depending on your choice, if you want it to be round neck, what you do is this. You can come down by 1.5 inch like this. You can come down and now shape it like this. It is round neck. But I did be you want to make it to be V-neck, you now make it to be round. You make it to be sharp like this. The one I want to use here now, I want it to be V-neck, so I have to cut it like this. I'll cut it out like this. So we now place it here. This is what you are going to get like this, and this is your arm side. Now back to your back. You know, this is the super side. Just what you did in the front side, you do the same thing here. Since you have already get your, and you leave 5 up like this, your nipple and your under bust and the waistline 18 and the hip line 26, sorry, the allowance make it 28 like that. So what you only need to do here, draw the line also. For the back, you don't even just measure the dart measurement. You know, you measure 4.5 for the bust pan. You also do the same thing for the bust side here also. And this is the under bust, waist, and the hip. Just measure it out. 4.5. You start from here, you know, to the same side. Start from this side. Your 4.5. This is 4.5. Also do the same thing here. 4.5 for the under bust also. Then you can roll it and draw your line like that. So and draw it straight. So from this under bust, you just come out by 1/2 inch. And also here, come out by 1/2 inch for the other side here. Do the same thing here. Come out by 1/2 inch. Then now draw. So this you just hold it. Then you now go to the next side. The next side, you can come down by, just don't forget to place the tape like this. You can come down by 6.5 also, or 7.5, depending how you want it to be wide, depending on your choice. So if you want to give it a round shape, you just do the same thing here. Mark it out with 3.5. Then what you do, you can just connect it like this. It is round shape for the back. And cut it out. You can open it. When you fold the super side like this, you fold it like this. The front side, see the front side. As you can see, then here's the middle part. So as you can see now, so we have through with our off shoulder bustier straight blouse. So if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up so you can do my best. This is it. This is all about it. Thanks so much. God bless you. Bye. Now this is the final look of our work. As you can see, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.